Um, I'm going to kick off really with a few general points and then end my short remarks really just with a few examples of things we did at BLP last time round. So the first point I wanted to make is really about strategy and the importance of having a really clear strategy in place with clear long-term goals and, of course, plans for achieving those goals over the short and medium term. The strategy needs to be both resilient and flexible to accommodate changes in the external environment. But I think it's really important to have that in place in order to keep the firm moving forward, even in difficult times. Sounds obvious, but I'm constantly amazed by the firms I come across that don't really have clear strategies in place. Second point relates to good housekeeping. One needs to, of course, at all times, but particularly during challenging times, ensure that there are clear and detailed programs in place to optimize financial performance, to keep close to clients, and to, of course, look after one's own people. Again, I come across firms with astonishingly high levels of lockup, weak client relationship management, and often failures to address low morale or anxiety amongst one's people within the firm. Third general point I wanted to make relates to leadership and the importance of the firm's leadership leading from the front, always projecting confidence and enthusiasm about the business. I'll never forget an experience I had when coming back from a meeting in our client's suite, I got back to my desk and my secretary came rushing into my room and she said, "Neville, you were coming up in the lift and there were some other people there and you didn't smile at them." And they called me up, someone called me up and said to ask if something's wrong. And I was just thinking about the meeting I'd just been through, quite an intense meeting. And I wasn't at all conscious of not being friendly or smiling or anything like that. But it is something that people notice, and one really has to remember to always project that sense of confidence. I guess the fourth point I wanted to mention relates to tough decisions. During difficult times, one needs to look at the cost base of the firm, sometimes engage in cost-cutting programs. And my advice there would be to always go deeper than everyone immediately feels comfortable with, because the worst thing to have to do is to come back for a second time and do it again. I would also urge those difficult decisions to be taken as quickly as possible and with the highest degree of transparency possible within the firm, because I think it's quite empowering for everyone in the firm if they feel they know the decisions that are being taken and they understand why they're being taken. So moving on to the last area that I wanted to quickly speak about, which relates to opportunities in a downturn, and using BLP, my former firm, as a bit of a case study. At the time of the global financial crisis in 2007-8, we were really in high growth mode. We were actively hiring laterals in the market. We were expanding internationally. And we were faced with a really big choice. Do we hunker down? And our sense was that most of our peers were hunkering down for this difficult period ahead? Or did we decide to double down on our investment and growth? And recognizing the risks involved, we took the decision to double down and we really expanded our growth program, taking advantage of some of the fallout from the elite firms in the years that followed the GFC. And this led to a period of really unprecedented growth for BLP at a time when average growth rates in the market were pretty flat. The second point I wanted to mention was that in 2007, we set up Lawyers on Demand, initially just to provide a pool of lawyers for secondments to our clients. But of course, this new business, which was completely different from our traditional business, then grew very strongly during the recession years. And perhaps that's a topic we can return to in the discussion section. I can expand a little bit on that initiative. So I guess in conclusion, my overall message is that downturns in activity in the economy present opportunities to optimize existing operations, but also identify exciting new growth opportunities which can set one up very strongly for the inevitable upturn. Thank you.